So I call this one When the Rubber Meets the Road. And y'all, this one is a tough one for me because I'm still kind of in a season of unsure, not unsure. There's some uncertainty. There's spiritual confirmation, but still physical uncertainty. Like I know what God is preparing me for. I know that God is doing something. God is definitely doing something new in my life, and it's happening fast. And it's like it's funny because it's like there's things that are happening so fast, and then it's slow, and then it's fast and it's slow. It's like this. It's a lot going on in my world. And so one of the biggest things God has been dealing with me about is trusting him regardless of what it looks like. Trusting him regardless of what it looks like. Now, I even today had a moment where there was a situation that came across my life. And I'll be honest with you, in these seasons, God has been revealing people to me, revealing different people in my life. And there was a situation that occurred recently where somebody I really felt like was in my corner wasn't, and God revealed it, and it's been so painful. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's been so painful. And I am really happy about what God is doing in revealing certain people in my life. But it's very painful when you don't expect it, or when it comes from a place you don't expect it or anticipate it. And so in that, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, I can be a little dramatic. And I know you guys probably know that if you watch my channels, you know that I'm demonstrative. I like to be funny. I'm goofy. I'm not a kid at heart, but I'm very goofy. Like I like to have fun. I like to tell jokes. Like I'm just one of those type of people. And so when the situation occurred, like I really felt it. I was, really sad, really, I was doing things. I remember God, y'all, it's just as clear as day. I'm driving and I feel like God called me to pick something up. I went to go pick it up on my way to my mom's house, and I see this message, and it just completely just tears me up. Like I'm just done. Like, so I'm I'm calling people to try to figure this thing out. I'm doing everything I can to mitigate the situation to the best of my ability. And nothing, family, nothing is working. Nothing is helping me get through this situation. Like there's nothing that I can do about this. Like if you're ever in a situation where you're trying your best to communicate and is not working, like nothing is working, it can feel so impossible, like the odds are stacked against you. And that's exactly how I felt. I felt like I was in a dead end. I felt like there was no way out. I felt trapped and I didn't know what to do. And there was no way out. And I believe that God has put me in a season strategically, family, where I have to sit in it. I have to face the dead end. I have to be in this moment of not knowing of what's going to happen next, and truly trusting God that even though it looks like a dead end, and even though it looks like it's not going to come to fruition, and the enemy wants to use what I'm seeing to discourage me, to bring up all the what ifs, I have to find a way to ground myself in that moment and know that God is faithful. And God is continuously, outside of the situation I'm just referring to, God has continuously put me in situations over and over and over again where I have to be in a situation that is full of uncertainty. And even to the best of my ability, I cannot guarantee the result. I cannot bring about the certainty. I have to trust my Creator. And what happens is, because it's out of my control, I spin. I do. I'm not going to lie. I be spinning like a little top, emotional, because it's out of my control. I feel like there's nothing I can do about it. And because of that, you guys, my natural instinct is to have an anxiety attack. And I might not be the only one on this live that experiences levels of anxiety where it just feels overwhelming. Your head is spinning, you're losing breath, you feel like you want to throw up. Like, I might not be the only person, but these are the situations God has continuously put me in. And my coach, she continues to tell me this: God is after your trust. God is after your trust. God is after your trust. And I've started to hear him in those moments where he's like, I know that you see the Nephilim in the land. And I'm going to make that make sense in a second. I know you see the Nephilim in the land, but do you trust me enough that I can overcome what's overwhelming you? That even though it looks like a dead end, even though it feels like there's no exit, even though it feels like there's not a good prognosis for what you are in right now, do you trust God enough to know that no matter what the odds that are stacked against you, that God is bigger than all of that? And so, family, I'm here to let you guys know that when the rubber meets the road, y'all probably heard this phrase, and I actually should have done like a little Google search of like what that actually means. But what I've always knew what when the rubber meets the road is like when it really requires you to take an action, when it really when the rubber hits the road, is like it's actually happening. The situation had the things have hit the fan. It's hit the ceiling. Things are occurring. There's nothing that can stop what's occurring in your life. Like we are now, it's real. Okay. It is real. We are here. And now God is calling you to do something. Like it's easy to talk about faith. It's easy to say, God is good and God is great and God has loved me. And I have so much faith in. Okay. Now I'm in a situation that requires me to have faith. That faith is a tax that I pay to get out of this season. Faith is a tax that I pay to move through the storms that are coming my way. I have to trust God because there's nothing that I can grip. There's nothing that I can say. There's nothing that I can do. All I have in this very millisecond is faith. And that is what I call when the rubber meets the road, because I can say a whole lot of things, but you don't really know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to show up until the rubber meets the road, until the situation gets real, until you don't have another option, until you don't have something else to say. And God doesn't want to be all the things you do. There's like 87 things you do, and then it's God. God wants you to be your first result, your first course of action. And so in this time, family, it's been back to back to back situations that have caused me levels of anxiety that I cannot describe adequately on this here stream. I cannot describe to you the levels of intense pressure that I believe God has allowed the enemy to press upon me so that I can be tested and refined in this season, so that he can find me in the wine press, that he can find me in the threshing floor and push out the parts of me that do not bring value into this next season. And part of that is this desire to be in control. Now, I've talked about my desire to be in control before. And it's a battle that I continuously fight. But in these last few weeks, family, I tell you, God has had his, I can't tell you how many moments I've had. I'm just so emotional. Because the way that God decides to do a thing is not quite the way I think he should do a thing. And I'm completely out of control. I can think of so many moments, family, where I'm just like, okay, God, I have no idea what you're doing. Like, I don't get this. I don't want to. Today, I'm like, God, why is this? Like, things ramped up a level. And I was like, I have no idea what to do right now. Like, and I feel like God is put me in more and more situations where I'm like, I literally can do nothing about this but pray. I literally can do nothing about this but hope that my God is with me. He is for me, and he is fighting for me in the moments where I literally can do nothing. And so today, family, as I'm walking around, I literally had a moment where I'm walking around my island in my kitchen, and I'm just like, I'm walking around the walls of Jericho, and I am spiritually taking the walls down. Like, I had to have a moment where I said, God, I do not know what to do. I've done everything that I can do. I've given my best effort, but there's nothing else I can do. And I call a friend up and I'm like, I need prayer. I need you to pray for me, because right now, like, I feel hopeless. I feel like I'm in a situation where I can't overcome it. And we can get lost in the details of the situation. And sometimes our friends do that. Well, what are you about this? And why is this? And it's like, at this point, that don't matter. I'm here. We here. What do I do now? I can go over the whys and the hows and the whats and the what ifs. I can go over that a million times over. But right now I'm facing a situation that I don't know what to do. This thing came out of nowhere. I'm scared about this. I'm fearful about that. All the what ifs are coming up in my spirit. I don't know what to do. And in my spirit, I heard, but my eyes are on you. It reminded me of a place where we see in the Bible, King Jehoshaphat wakes up on a Wednesday. I say Wednesday because I think it sounds funny. Wakes up on a Wednesday, and three countries that he had the opportunity to take out before have all come together, banded together to attack him. And he does not have the ability to overwhelm this battle. He does not have the artillery. He doesn't have the military power. He knows that this is a losing battle at the looks of it. And he says, God, I do not know what to do. I'm fasting. I'm praying. I'm calling all my people to fast and pray, because the only way that we can get out of this situation is if you move. Is an act of God. It's only if you move. If you move, we have a chance. If you move, we have a chance. And sometimes, family, I'm here to tell you, and I feel this so strongly in my spirit. Sometimes God allows these impossible situations to occur because he's breaking you out of you. What do I mean by that? Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're the type of person that have always had to have it, always had to have it together, always had to rely on you. You had to trust you because you done been in some situations and you couldn't trust others. So you trusted you, and you just are continuously trying to make effort after effort because you have learned in this relationship with yourself and the world that the only being that you can trust is you. That even God, even though we talk about him, it's hard to trust an unseen force. It's hard to trust something that you don't hear in the out loud. You just hear in the spirit. It's hard, and the enemy plays on that because he decides to show us things that make us go either in a different direction or that discourage us from even believing in this creator. But I'm here to tell you, family, he's real. Because I've seen it over and over again in my life. I've seen him move mountains. I've seen him do impossible things. Family, I'm sitting in a miracle as I'm speaking to you now. A miracle just happened again. I've seen miracle signs and wonders. I can tell you right now, my God he is real, family. He is real. And the enemy likes to distract us with what we see, so much so that we're like, I don't know about this whole God thing, because I don't see him. But no, regardless if you see him or not, he's real. God is real. Family, I have living proof. I'll go on put me on a stage, give me a microphone, and give me 2 hours. I will tell you of the goodness of my Savior. I am telling you, he is real. So after that point, when I'm going into what I'm saying now, is that sometimes God specifically puts us in situations so that we have to rely upon him, that we don't have the ability to rely upon ourselves because we can't get us out of this. We're in a situation where literally, all we can do is trust him. All we can do is pray. And family, that's where I found myself. Crying at my mama's house. Overwhelmed. Because family, I'm going to be honest with you. It's been week. When I say week after week after week, I'm saying back to back to back to back to back. One of my friends had mentioned contractions and birth pains. I really do feel like I'm giving birth to something. I really do. Because it is back to back to back to back to back. I mean, June has been on and popping, family. Okay, week after week. It's good, and then the enemy, the good and enemy. Good. I'm literally going, and then it was week after week. I would have a couple days in between. Now it's like, okay, good, bad, good, bad, good. I'm like, okay. And God's like, see, the thing about this is you're waiting for things to be good to have peace. You're waiting for things to be good, to be even keel and steady. But what I'm calling you in this season is that no matter what you face, no matter what situation is coming before you and it's overwhelming you, I want you to be able to have the same peace as though you're you just got the answered prayer. You just got the email. You just got the phone call. You just got the job. You just got the healing. I want that same level of energy, that same level of peace, even in the situations that aren't going well, that seem to be going left. I want you to have that same faith and that same energy, no matter what it looks like. I want you to celebrate that the prayers answered before the prayers actually answered. I want you to have that same peace. And